way, in pushing the point of view that racism is everywhere. Racism is in every institution. When you push back on these things, when Trump is removing all critical race theory from schools, and this is a talking point on CNN, Fox News, such and such and so and so, rather than have a democratic shield that has to counterbalance the point of all using things like all minorities and all people of color, and it affects all. No. Dr. Umar talk about black people, because when you're talking about CRT, you're primarily talking about how systematic racism affected black people. He don't talk all that minority people of color BS. He talk about black people, and these are the minds that they do not have on their main stage. They do not do it. They used to years and years ago.
To have Umar on that
years
stage.
And years ago, certain people like Phil Donahue and Katie Couric and
these guys are way more smarter than a damn Phil Donahue.
Hold on, the guy from 60 Minutes. Hold on, wait.
This guy got a Harvard degree.
Listen to the point I'm making, sir. Listen to the point I'm making. They would allow the black scholarly mind, if you will, on their shows, but they like Farrakhan and Dr. Khaled and different ones, but they got whooped up so bad they just stopped letting them on the show, and they replaced them with these new neo liberal black
they replaced
people.
them. So now this is a global.
Hold on, let me finish.
So this is a conspiracy now?
Let me finish. And they only brought those people up there to quote unquote try to use.
Wait. You keep saying,
brother. Brother, let me finish my point.
I just want to know, how much time do you need?
I'm almost done.
You always say that. You've been talking for a minute now.
Okay, brother. Let me just finish. So they bring these.
No, well, you gotta, you know what I mean?
This is what you do. You try to get the people from not letting me have a coherent thought.
Bro,
so you can think you won tomorrow.
I just want to know how much time so I can hold you to it. How much time do you need?
Give me 90 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. So what they did was replace these true black voices, if you will, with neoliberal black folks, and have them up there trying to represent the black mind, collective mind, in the black agenda, when really they're only representing the democratic view of the black agenda, because their job is to keep us voting 94% Democrat. So they're like, this is what black people believe. This is what black people are, how black people are thinking. I represent the black mind. I represent the black scholar. But the reality of the matter is you're not. You're only representing the democratic left, which is why you have to counterbalance the black talking points with words like people of color and minority and for every minority and all of this. And you have to also counterbalance it by projecting or postulating that the gay agenda is equal or tantamount to the black agenda. This is why all of them get up there talking about LGBTQ, and they down with abortion, and they down with this, and they down with that, and they do that. And then the ones on the right who may say, I'm not down with abortion, I'm not down with LGBTQ, they attack black people directly, like Candace Owens and Amala Akbanobi and different ones, and try to act like black people don't have no argument, and critical race theory doesn't exist, and DEI, black people only getting jobs because of DEI, not because they qualify. So it's two sides, both sides disrespecting the shit out of black people.
All right. Okay. All right. First of all, Umar's unnecessary reason for a school is bogus. You said you got to build a whole damn university to teach about CRT or systemic racism. So you need to have a whole. This can't be something done after school, online, a book club. This got to be a whole school, a university that never happened to teach CRT. That's crazy.
That's not what I said, though.
Okay, CRT is not the reason, or learning about systemic white supremacy is not more valuable than learning about STEM. There are no jobs waiting on these African boys after they get done learning about systemic racism. There's no job waiting on them. Okay, we I don't know what the hell that's about. What's holding us back is a portion of systemic racism and a portion of not having education and a skill. Okay, so that's what so those things coupled together is what's holding us back from progress. Not learning about systemic racism. Yeah, that's good to learn about, but that just makes you feel better about your condition. But that's not going to help you be a better father, because Umar knows all this stuff and still got 2 baby mothers. He speaks about ADHD is a product of the black dad not being in the home. Well, my boy, you're not in any of your homes. And he still want to practice polygamy, and it failed. You tried it, it failed, bro. You're not in no home. But this is the example that we got to watch produce this school that's never going to happen. He doesn't have the manpower. He got the donations, and he didn't factor in contractors. He didn't factor in donors are not like investors. Like he didn't factor in a lot of things. HVAC, again, that's back to contractors. He admitted he hired some dudes that wasn't really like LLC that license. They just ran off the money. He admit that. He's doing collective paintings. No, dude, they paid, they gave you their money. Hire people to paint the damn school, man. It's taking too goddamn long. Hey, everybody, y'all want to come down and paint the school? How long that's going to take for them to come down, and they're just going to paint? I'm sure there's a pattern you want to do, but dude, we waited too long. Just get the correct people in charge. Why are you out there shoveling? They gave you millions of dollars. Hire people, property management, whatever you got to do. Hire contractors to do all of that. But one thing we never see them do, we always see them work on the school outside. We never see them work on the school inside. We don't see them kicking down walls and breaking this up or putting up sheetrock. Everything he does is outside. It's like cosmetic. Where is the inside work? Where are the contractors working in the school? Like, there's never any video of any work actually being done in the school. This dream can never happen. This dream is going to go down like the ships in Garvey's time. When you have these big dreams without small proof of concepts, without small achievements, it normally always fails. So I'm on 4 minutes. I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes to give 5 minutes to you. So these big dreams are crazy. You need to show small success points to show confidence or proof of concept. Show, hey, I can get it done. Look what I've done. Look at my resume. Look at my portfolio. He has nothing in his background that shows he can establish a school to that magnitude. He didn't start from, like, at least churches. They start in libraries and homes, and then they rent this hall, rent that hall. Then you could see the progress and the growth, and you could, which give the church members confidence to put money in, because they shown how they grew from this small study group in the house, the kitchen, or the bedroom, or the living room, whatever. Now look where we're at. We're in the library. Now look where we're at. We're in the auditorium. Now look where we're at. We're got a small building, and we trying to grow bigger. There's nothing in his background that show that he can get this done. And guess what? It's showing, because he hasn't got it done. He's light years away from it, and it can never happen because he doesn't know how to do it. This is in a team job. My 5 minutes.
All right. Start my timer, please.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the necessity for the school and the necessity to teach critical race theory in the school is not to make us feel better, but it is to give us the impetus to make change within our community by understanding that we got here based upon systemic forces that are trying to keep you out of the American wealth diaspora, trying to keep you from being free, trying to keep you from being educated. And there's systematic things that were put in place that led us to having these outcomes that we have now. By us explaining and expounding on the fact that there's all these various racist governmental rules, laws, programs, and policies that put black people at the bottom of the diaspora. It will give us, not just make us feel better, but it'll give us the impetus to affect change. And each one teach one. If we can create a class of young black men, a school for young black men, to teach them to do better, to teach them how we got in this condition, then they will go out and teach others the same thing, and we can build these schools and build this this mental path towards removing ourselves from wanting to be simple basketball players and drug dealers. Okay, since that's all we are seen as represented as, but it'll in turn force us to have more pride in our trajectory. So then, therefore, you would produce the more science teachers, technology majors, engineering majors, and math majors in the STEM field. That's first of all, putting that black mind, if you will, on the right path will in turn produce a better outcome for black people. That's secondly, I never said we were going to go to these schools that are very vital and necessary and only learn about critical race theory. No. That will be a backdrop. That will be a school of thought. That will be a class. But nobody never said science wasn't going to get taught. Technology wasn't going to get taught. Engineering wasn't going to get taught. Mathematics wasn't going to get taught. We would still teach the STEM fields, if you will, because those are requisite to producing strong black men. Then we will also have a military aspect of it, if you will, so that we can produce a unified military front, that we can protect our women, protect our children, protect our babies, and protect our neighborhoods. Elijah Muhammad did it with the University of Islam. He had all of these different categories, if you will, that he taught young black men. So nobody never said we're going to go there and just learn about that. No, we'll learn about it all, but we will not be forbidden from teaching about the systemic racism that exists in every institution in our society. We won't be beholden to a curriculum that bigs up white people while they only teaches the minuscule accomplishments of black people, that tells you white history to black children, but only slave history to young black children, and refuse to go beyond that, and refuse to show who we truly are, where we truly came from, and how we truly got here, and let you know where we're truly going, our true destiny. So the necessity for the school is very important. It's very vital. And to the original point, it would produce more people who are on the direct path, because we are not, like I said, forbidden from teaching critical race theory and the rest of these things like they forbid us from talking now. Now, as far as the infrastructure of the school goes, I would pray that brother gets his school done. He says he doesn't want to take no aid from any governmental entities, or he would have been had the school done. So everything he's doing is based upon donation. Everything he's doing is based upon what the people are giving him. And, this is why he has certain holdups. I wouldn't bet against him. I wouldn't pray against him. I wouldn't say it's never going to get done. I don't speak in absolutes. I hope he could get it done. But if he didn't, the idea of the school itself is still very valid. The need for the school, or our own schools, is still very pertinent.
Time. Wait, okay. Time is time. All right. Okay. Yeah, I stopped my time. Okay, so anyway, no, my time started. The school is not important at all. It's just like the ships were not important during Marcus Garvey time. But Marcus Garvey, he did what you did. He preached and tried to sell us on the idea of that we need ships to go to Africa. Umar did the same thing. Before the idea of schools, ain't nobody was talking about we need a school. There was so many black schools going around, and that's why he was criticized so much from black people who already had schools going on. Black folks already had schools. You just said Elijah's mama had one. We don't need them. We don't. And then this guy reason for it. And then like this guy said, you gotta wear your natural hair only. Like, so it's not about the things Focus just said. So you're gonna force people to come. Now these are donors. And that's the worst way to start any project is donors. The responsible way is to do it the responsible way. Get investors. If you believe in your idea that much, you get investors. Because investors, you know what they can do that donors can't do? They can hold you accountable and keep you in check. And they could monitor where the money's going and cut off funding when necessary. And maybe they can even vote your black ass out. Okay, so donors, when you donate, is just that. Donations, you have no say-so when you donate of what the person does with the money. And especially when you're sending to his Cash App. Now, if you send to a PayPal crowdfunding, you can hold him in check to what he said he's going to do with the money. But if you send to a Cash App, you are assed out. Cash App that's why it got shut down. A Cash App is pure profit. Right? It's pure profit. So all these, even like a PayPal to some degree, if you don't set it up right, it's just a donation. Okay, so when I did my business, I collected Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. So when you patronize that way, that's it. You have no say so what happened with the money. Ain't nobody can tell. Whoever sent me a Zelle, Cash App, PayPal can't tell me what to do with the money. I do what I want to do with the money, and so it leaves you with no. That's why he has no disclosure. He has no full transparency, not even to the donors. There's always some secret plot. Hey, I can't tell you because the world will know and try to stop me. It's always some secret government Illuminati plot why he cannot give you the plan. Now, the school would never happen because he's a one-man team. Okay, going by what he shows, where is everybody? Now, you said donations. So you're going to pay teachers off donations? Because he don't have a traditional school that makes money by itself. He got to make the money. So he's going to sustain this school with donations. So check this out, family, chat. So he's going to convince top teachers to stop what they're doing, to work at this school, and their pay is based on donations. Okay, so this month we did good with donations. This month I got a scandal. I got some thing going on my daughter, so donations stop coming. So hey, man, just keep keep hope alive after this drama go away, and then we'll be back with our regular donations. Like that's a weird, and he's starting a school now with everything you just said, with CRT and all this stuff you try to glamorize, romanticize. You can do all of that online, like we're talking right now. You can go a long way with a podcast or everything he wanted to do in this school. That's never going to happen. He can do all of it the same way he's on live talking this, hey, my queen, who wants to marry me, all this goofy stuff. That's the perfect time to teach what he's going to teach. But he wants no overheads. There's reasons why he don't want to do it the right way. He don't want to be told what to do. He said that before. He don't want no overhead. He's going to be the principal, the janitor, the math teacher, the history teacher. He's going to do exactly what Jay Morrison did. He's going to have all these positions to pay himself 10 times over. He's the janitor. He's the school lunch lady. He's the principal. He's the math teacher. He's a gymnasium teacher. Everywhere you go, it's going to be him in a different costume. Hey, where's the gym teacher? Hey, I got my shorts on. Hey, man, check up. That's my time.
Yeah, so as I said before, I'm not really here to argue the logistics of his school and, the brick and mortar and should he use donations or should he not? That's not even my point. I said I'm not going to root against the brother, and hopefully he gets it done, because it is a good idea. But I'm here. I was more arguing the necessity for us to have our own schools, what should be taught in those schools, how we wouldn't be beholden to the curriculum, and why it would be important to the future of Black people for us to have our own schools and our own schooling. Now, perhaps the brother is going to, once he does get it open, and I don't know if he doesn't have any investors. He may have some investors. He may use donations as well. We may have some people who will invest, but it's a private entity and private schools. So as with all private schools, I'm sure there will be some sort of tuition. And through the tuition, will you be able to pay your teacher, pay your maintenance men, pay for upkeep, and just and et cetera, et cetera. So you build the school, you get the school up and running, you get your children in the school, those people who donate in and invest in. I'm sure they have children or whatever the case may be. And once the school's open, you'll have Black people that say, look, I want my kids to go there. You know what I'm saying? So, at that point, hopefully the tuition will come in and he'll be able to teach his kids. If he opened and his school lasted 5 years and Black people didn't come in there and enough tuition wasn't given to pay the teachers, it still would, and the endeavor failed. It's still a valiant effort and a necessary one. To liken it to Garvey in the sense of, oh yeah, we need ships to go back to Africa, is not really doesn't do the argument of teaching and training young Black kids justice. There's really no juxtaposition there. Leave America, which you built, forfeit your reparations, give up on something that you've already been working hard for, go across the sea to a continent that may not even want your ass no more, as opposed to let's build something for ourselves right here, train our children up to do better so that the only point of view that they have is not the point of view given to them by the very people who oppress them, but we will have a point of view given to them by our own. This is why it's important and necessary for us to have this school. That's my point. All of the rest of the stuff, I'm not here to argue. I'm here to argue, or I was arguing with that, the necessity for us to teach ourselves, train ourselves, build for ourselves, and not be beholden to the programs and policies and curriculum of the American school system, which just banned CRT, which refused to teach you any Black history except slave history. We teach you about the same Black history figures every single February, as opposed to the prominent ones that actually want to make a difference and make a change, that picks your heroes for you, that gives you 9 and 10 hours a day of learning about great white people and not training you in the science and technology, engineering, mathematics field. That's not teaching you how to invest. That's not putting you on the road to having a lucrative trade and different things that will place Black people at the top, and is not, vehemently working against the poisoning conditioning program that the American diaspora pushes on the Black diaspora. So that's all I'm arguing, is the importance of the school. I'm not arguing the logistics. Maybe he will open the school. Maybe he won't open the school. I hope he does. I pray he does. But either way, as I said, it's necessary and a valiant effort on his part to try to leave a legacy for himself and a legacy for our people that is beyond him and beyond himself. So that's all I'm arguing. That's all I'm arguing there. I mean, the brick and mortar is not what I'm arguing.
Time, because you actually went over. I had to look down. All right. Fine. So, the beautiful thing about the internet is that it's undefeated. Okay. So we actually can Google what is wrong in the school system that's causing Black from all ethnicities to perform poorly. We can just Google it. We ain't got to make it up. We ain't got to trust Umar or trust Focus. We just can Google it. Since it's true, if it's true, there's some facts behind it. Okay, so conclusion, what needs to change in the school system so blacks can perform better? Because in these same schools, I believe Nigerians go there that perform, that excel the same schools, and they excel. Okay, so I mean, the same schools, same public schools. Now, increase school funding for low-income Black communities, recruit more Black teachers, and provide anti-bias training, end unfair discipline policies that target Black students, expand early childhood education for Black families, make curriculum more inclusive and culturally relevant. Now, you can do this in your school that you have now. Okay, instead of waiting for 100 years, okay, we still don't see, you still got Pan-Africanists still pitching the Garvey movement. And this was going to happen with Umar. He's not going to do it because it cannot be done. He's going to fail like he's failing now. For 15 years, he's been failing. He has a date. Every year, he got a date when the school's going to open. All he has is excuses why it's not opening. Now, you just said, we don't know about the investors. Bro, that's the problem. He's not transparent. He doesn't give disclosure. It's everything's a secret. And some of his donors be asking, like, hey, you got skeptics. You got skeptics. Like, he thinks, hey, my donors ain't complaining, so I don't gotta tell. Bro, you got people who are skeptics and they might send a donation. You got people that maybe there's somebody with some real money, but they have financial advisors. People with real money like Jarrell, he might want to invest, but his financial advisor is going to say, Jarrell, separate your emotion from your money. Like, yo, this got to make sense. So there's some things that we need to check, boxes we got to check off. So you might want to ask this and this and this. Now, watch how easy it is to build a school or to use a school to do something with it. Come on.
The big challenge is that development can take a long time and it's a very expensive process to go through. So on this project, I'm the property developer. It's the person that puts the deal together, but we take the risk, we own the site, we get the financing for the deal, they get that secured and then own the site once it's built. And if the contractor goes bust, you can get another contractor in. So there is a distinct difference between developer and contractor. And also operator. Operator is the one that runs the building once it's built, also known as a managing agent. So months of planning, months of work, a bunch of letdowns, but eventually we pulled it off. And the big challenge is that development can take a long time. Financing the project, that wasn't too problematic. We approached a couple of banks to work with that would finance the development. We had to put up some of the money for the development. The rest of it was financed by the bank. We then went to a contractor and a professional team to quote us to deliver the project, and that's how we went along. So it's funded from some of my money, some of the money from my business partner on this, as well as money from the bank, and that's how we funded the development. And that bank actually, fortunately, was supportive when our contractor went bust. They stuck with us and allowed us the opportunity to deliver the project ourselves. So it's funded from some of my money, some of the money from my business partner on this, as well as money from the bank, and that's how we funded the development. So it's funded from some of my money. So we paid £400,000 for this site originally. Today, this building's worth £12 million, and that's for a number of factors, right? That's due to us being able to generate value through creating these spaces, so 70 apartments that we can then rent at a certain level. That gross rent, we take the annual figure and we deduct operational expenses, which is 20 to 25%. Once that's...
And I'll conclude in a second. Go ahead.
I don't know why you played that video.
You'll see why. I had enough time, but don't worry. Go ahead.
As I said, I'm not here to argue.
Start your time right now. Hold on. Stop. Wait. Because I had cut in. Go ahead.
As I said, I'm not here to argue the logistics. You can send that video to Dr. Umar and tell him the best way that he should build his school. I don't know quite the relevance of an apartment building. And, you know, according to him, he wants to do this through black investors. He wants to do this through black donation. Whether that's a fallacy on his part, maybe, perhaps. Him not utilizing the banks and the credit and loan system because he doesn't want to be beholden to them. You know, maybe that's a fallacy on his part. That's something you have to take up with him. I'm not arguing, as I said before, the logistics. So you can keep on pushing that point to try to prove a point of your own, but that's not my argument. I hope he gets it done. Hopefully, he gets it done in the way he wants to get it done. Me personally, I would love to use the people to do that. If it was me, I may just perhaps use a bank loan. I may just perhaps, do these different other mechanisms. Maybe put the school at the bottom and apartments up top. Perhaps try to create an entire compound, perhaps with the school in the middle. A self-sufficient, self-sustaining economy. A black community. There's ways to do it. And as I said, but I'm not here to argue the logistics of it. I'm simply saying it's vital, it's necessary, and there's great, and it will produce great outcomes if we were to have our own school that's not bound or beholden to the American educational system and curriculum. Now, a part of the video that you showed, it said, in order to make us better, we have to expand the curriculum and make it more culturally relevant. Well, when you have Donald Trump taking away critical race theory out of every single school, how culturally relevant can you make it? I don't want to hear about George Washington Carver creating the peanut. I don't want to hear about you saying that it's culturally relevant, but I'm hearing minority and I'm hearing people of color and this all-inclusive vernacular. I want to hear about black people and how black people got in the position that they're in. And you can't do that unless you prove how systemic rules, laws, policies, and programs placed us at the bottom of the iceberg purposefully. Now, these are things that they will not teach you in the American educational curriculum. In fact, about it, if you try to go, you would teach these things, your job would be on the line. Potentially, you would lose, the funding, if you will, that you're getting, okay? Because according to this president, according to the people in charge, you're not supposed to be teaching stuff like that because it's unfair to white folks. So the reality of the matter is, it's vital and it's important that we control what is going into the minds of our own youth and not going to the very people who created our problems to teach us and educate us on how to fix them. While we get purposely miseducated because they want the outcomes that are lucrative for them, not outcomes that are lucrative through the growth and development of black people. The outcomes that we have in the hood are the exact outcomes that this government wants. And they use the music, the media, the school, the religious institutions, and everything else to make sure that we get the outcome that they want us to have. And any ideal that changes the fortunes of black people as a whole, that would produce a more favorable outcome for black people, is ostracized, vilified, and destroyed. Now, this ain't no opinion. This is fact, brother. So you keep talking about, oh yeah, you just want to keep presenting opinions as fact. No. I'm presenting fact as fact. I can go through policy by policy.
Time. So before I start my time, I just want to say that guy that was supposed to join us, I blocked him. I unfriended and blocked him because he wasn't responding. And I went to his wall, and this guy provided a video talking about a mermaid. Like he's showing a video of a mermaid in a damn pond. I said, yeah, this guy won't come over here. Yeah. So once I seen that, there was some mermaid shit, I blocked him. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it right this time because I was doing stopwatch, and I didn't do timer. So with stopwatch, I can't, mute my stuff because I got to see the time. I got to see the stopwatch. So now I got on timer. I can mute my background when you go, so you don't got to hear the little one, and I will hear it when it sounds off. Right. Yeah, I got on timer. I messed up. All right, let me go. So let me finish playing this video. I was playing. Where is the damn video? Here we go. So you didn't know why I played this video, so let it finish first.
Number of factors, right? That's due to us being able to generate value through creating these spaces of 70 apartments that we can then rent at a certain level. That gross rent, we take the annual figure and we deduct operational expenses, which is 20 to 25%. Once that's done, you're left with your net rent, your net NOI, your net operating income. That net operating income is the amount that dictates the value of the building. That investment you're set off against the net operating income determines the value of the building, and that's how we got to that figure. So when we first started, it was a much smaller scheme at 58 flats, and it was worth 6 million then. It's now worth 12 million, which is a combination of rental increases and a much bigger scheme.
Okay, so now the reason why I played this video, that that luxury 70 apartment unit building was a school. He turned a school, an abandoned school. So you got many investors out here who are turning, even in PA, they're turning abandoned schools into apartments, luxury apartments. So now they have 400,000 pounds. That school is big. You see the 70 units, big. So now it takes much more work. And by the way, they've done that in like less than 7 years. Okay. So it takes much more work to turn a school into a 70 unit apartment building because now you got all these different bathroom and showers rather than buying a school and keeping it a school, just knocking walls down, making it so it's harder to make it something else rather than keep it what it is. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, stop. Okay, so that was the point. So he was giving a breakdown how this is generally done. And when you go and watch anybody on YouTube, people turning schools into something else, it's the same way. It doesn't take a gazillion years to get this done. Now, you didn't respond to this. This Black history you're talking about, it can be done without a university. This guy wanted a university. All right. And we don't hear him talk about science and these things because he's the teacher. He keeps saying he's the teacher on some of these things. All right. He's not only the principal, he's also the teacher. Now, I said earlier, a lot of these things, who the hell gets donations or investors for a huge project like his? You normally start something small and you show proof of concept to give your donors or your investors confidence you can get this done because you have a portfolio. You ignored that. This dude don't have a portfolio, nothing near of creating a project, something as massive as this. Nothing. He just does speeches. He's built absolutely nothing. He has speeches. So for him to have this Marcus Garvey dream is Marcus Garvey-ish. That's why he talks about Marcus Garvey. His school is called Marcus Garvey. He has a Marcus Garvey dream, and guess what? He's taking donations like Marcus Garvey to fund his dream. And guess what? He's also being accused of scamming like Marcus Garvey with the monies for this school. Both of them had big dreams that black folks felt like, wow, this could be done. This is beautiful. And both of them has not done it. And both of them were one-man teams, basically. And they're appointing people who are unqualified to bring this into fruition. I keep telling you that you never see Umar showing his work or showing work being done in real time. He has no team. He's out there doing the outside work himself. There's no inside work going on. Every time he goes in there, it looks the same. It looks the same. I haven't seen the progress yet. I would be surprised if Smells took over the school and Umar is just getting credit for it. Like somebody just bought him out and say, yo, man, look, I got it. So what Focus is talking about, I got 20 seconds. What Focus is talking about, I'm saying it could have been done and less cost efficient had he just did it online, like the way he was doing before with the parents, with the giving diagnosis to the children for ADHD, giving them that. He could do the same thing for that, but the dude wanted money. That's my your time starting now.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why you keep trying to straw man my argument and hammer home a point that I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing the logistics. I'm not arguing the brick and mortar. I'm not arguing if he did it, could have done it a better way. I'm not arguing that. That's not my point. I'm only simply arguing the necessity for us having our own school. The valiant effort in him trying to build something for us to change the mentality, the systemic mentality and the conditioning of our people. I don't know why you're talking about all this other stuff. That's not my point. Now, you mentioned the fact that it's way easier to turn a school into apartment buildings as opposed to keeping the school a school and having it up and running. But I respectfully disagree. Yeah, the work brick and mortar wise may be a little bit more difficult in certain ways because you're still able to get loans, you're still able to do this, that, and the third. And remember what he said. He said the fact that we was able to turn it from 400,000 pounds to 12 million pounds was because of rental increases and other schemes. Then you also have the fact that the world population is growing rapidly. Rapidly. I think in 91, they said it was 5 billion people, 5.2 billion people, or something like that. And now we're pushing 8 or 9 billion people, and that's only in 30 years. So you have a bunch of new people. So people need somewhere to live. So when you're offering them luxury dwellings, that's much more necessity. And you can tap into every race, every demographic, every sex. So it's actually be easier in some regards for you to fill those units up, take that money and rebuild, as opposed to getting black people on an accord to understand that we need our own schooling, to take them out of the public schools, to have them pay tuition as opposed to paying public schools when that option is already socialized for them. And to combat the idea that we don't need this type of stuff, which is being pushed on the people, that we don't need this unique black teaching, that what they provide for us is good enough. So the point I'm making is an endeavor like the one he took on provides its own difficulties. So we can't lessen the difficulties of that endeavor by juxtaposing it to another endeavor, which has nothing to do with the education of black people in a system that they're purposely being miseducated in a system that they're mentally oppressed in. People that are plugged into the matrix that you're trying to disconnect from the matrix. That's an arduous task, brother. That's not a task for the faint of heart. So it provides its own difficulties. It provides its own hills and hurdles for you to overcome. So I wouldn't disrespect the path of the independent black school by juxtaposing it to some flat in London. So the points don't correlate, okay? And as I said, none of that shit is what I'm even talking about. I'm simply talking about the necessity of it. We went from talking about critical race theory and how he would have been a great candidate to argue this on mainstream platforms, and then purposely keeping those type of black scholars off of mainstream platforms because they want to bring up those who represent the democratic left and present those black scholars as the talking mouthpiece for the black community when they're really not. Okay, we went from talking about that to now you talking about that nigga Marcus Garvey. He ain't never going to open that school. He just want the money, brother. The fact of the matter is,
Time. Okay, so my time. Daddy. What do you want? More. Okay, go sit down. You get more. It's boiling. All right, so my time's gonna start now. Okay, brother. You don't gotta rebut what I'm saying. You can just talk about something else. What's wrong with you? Your ego is making you respond to what I'm saying over and over and over. You can ignore what I'm saying and just talk about what you want to talk about. But I'm gonna finish up though on this because it is we talk about CRT, and then you said this is why Umar had to build this fantasy school to teach CRT. And I'm like, dude, he could just talk CRT.
Not what I said.
Okay, I gotta start it. Because when I talk with you, I start it over. Okay, you got it. It's my 5 minutes. Okay, so you said the CRT is why we need a school because it's being taken out and it's not being taught. It's not being represented correctly by one of us. So we need to have this. We need to build this imaginary school to teach this. And I said, bro, no, that's the lack of CRT is not the reason why we're not performing well in school. There's many other factors that's way more important and way more measurable. CRT could be taught at home. You said investing, that can be taught at home. Okay? These things have got to be taught in school, be taught at home. Newsflash, other races, they hire tutors to teach them. They don't rely on the public education solely. All right? When I was tutoring, the whole library is filled with tutors, and all these kids are being taught all the things and more they had in school. And it's the same teacher, by the way, that's the tutor, that's going more in depth. So yeah, you don't rely on this. That's what we do as a people. That's wrong. You don't rely on public schools. Public schools pretty much teach you general things. They're not going to go in super in depth. That's what your mom and dad got to do themselves or invest some money in the kids. Listen to this. I hope there's no music playing behind this. My video.
To bringing home, the school district has written down that first graders should know X, Y, and Z. Second graders should know X, Y, and Z. Bear with me for a moment. I took a tour of your school. I was really amazed. The first graders, they said the word intermodulation. They read it on the board. The fifth graders, they said good morning to me in 5 different languages. So my question to you is, I see this happening in your school. They know their timetables, 6, 7, and 8. They can say it all the way up. But when I go to the public schools, I may not see this same type of learning taking place. So is it that the public schools are failing our kids? Are we, as educators, failing the children?
Well, it's like a domino effect. If you have a school where teachers don't have good class.
Let me pause it. She ain't got no goddamn private school. Her school is very successful in PA. Umar's wrong. Everything Umar says he's not going to do with the school, she did. Her school is successful. These black kids are learning. Damn, why?
Classroom management, children are not learning. Now, it is the administrator's job to oversee that every teacher has a conducive environment in order to teach, and then hold those teachers accountable by making sure that they have your support as the administrator and that they have all the supplies. In many schools, they don't have textbooks. Teachers don't have paper. They have to take money out of their pockets to purchase these items. And the schools, particularly inner city schools, through Title I, bring in millions of dollars. My biggest concern is that I've studied this school district for about 36 years in Philadelphia. I went through Philadelphia's public schools, and I find that the schools make money when children fail. So the goal is to get as much money as you can get.
Now, how is that? How do they make the money when those kids fail?
Through Title I.
Okay.
Title I is a federally funded program, and the goal of Title I is to help children that are failing.
Let's get to the positive part.
Money based on attendance. So as long as
Rewards. What is it that you do? Give me the top three that you address, whether it's academically, whether it's socially, behavior. What techniques can we steal from the Mathematics, Civics, and Sciences Charter School and adopt in our...
Mathematics, Civics, and Science Charter School. This is a charter school that clown said, well, do this and do that, and you have no control. Damn clown. Her success rate is through the roof.
or public school system to raise the bar there?
One, you have to find a committed educator, someone that is not just a job or a paycheck, that children are treated as if they were their own children. I treat the children at my school as if they're my children.
Okay.
And they know that. I give a lot of love, hugs, all day. I'm all over this school. Every child knows me. I'm in and out of every classroom. Because my motto is, I can't expect from my teachers what I don't inspect. So I inspect everything, and they see me, they don't know.
So I got 5 seconds left. Well, I'm playing the rest. I'm going to cook you and Umar. That's my time.
Well,
Go.
sir, everything about that video is proving my point. Kudos to the sister. I'm down with her trying to affect change in the school system because it's failing our kids. This video just said the school system is not only failing our kids, but they're getting paid $1 million through Title I when kids fail. When kids do bad, they get paid in the inner cities. So therefore, they want to keep us, like welfare, like all the rest of the paradigm, they want to keep us in a perpetual state of failure. And they're using the school to do it. Now, this sister building her own school, this sister changing the paradigm is proof that we need a shift. She said, they said, oh, these kids are saying hello in 5 different languages. They know their times tables. Mathematics, language, reading, writing, arithmetic. She wants to better the outcomes for her children, for the children in her school. Well, these are the things that we need to implement in the schools like Dr. Umar is trying to build. But also we need to take it a step further and teach more culturally relevant things. Teach things that not only teach you reading, writing, arithmetic, science, and math, which is all requisite to a conducive outcome of greatness. All requisite. And I'm not arguing against that thing that shouldn't be done. But also, we need to begin to teach children why their people are in the condition that they're in. The Title I is simply an example of critical race theory. That's systemic racism that disproportionately affects you. We need to understand that it's just when you're dealing with a people that is lost within the diaspora of America, when you're dealing with a people who have all the highest statistical indicators, whether it be homicide rate, abortion rate, divorce rate, etc., we need to understand how we got here. That is critical to the growth and development of Black people. Because unless you know where you're going, Ben, you won't know where you're at, and therefore you don't know where you're going. Great. Teach reading, writing, arithmetic, mathematics. But what's going to happen when you get to history? What's going to happen when you get to social studies? What's going to happen when you get to U.S. History 1 and 2? What's going to happen when you get to these critical elements of school that teach the history and the reasons and the path to where we got to the present? I didn't hear her mention that. Maybe she will, but I didn't hear her mention that. And if she is teaching a Black, if you call it Afrocentric, whatever you want to call it, culturally relevant type of history, kudos to her. More power to her. I'm happy she's doing that. Maybe Dr. Umar need to take some notes. I'm not here to argue the logistics. I'm here to argue the necessity. He could be doing it 100% wrong. But that don't mean the intentions ain't right. That don't mean the necessity is not there. That's all I'm saying. Are you teaching a point that only bolsters my point? I don't understand why you playing these videos like they're debunking something I'm saying, because they're not. Schools need change. Schools need different outcomes.
Okay, let me start my time right now. Okay, brother, he just said he made the biggest mistake tonight. He said he could be 100% wrong, but it's his intentions. But he doesn't want me to bring up Marcus Garvey. Brother, sit down and learn something. Marcus Garvey, after he admitted, okay, in court, that he mismanaged money and he offered useless stock certificates, he said, okay, that's wrong. But he said, my intentions were pure. Brother, we don't give a F about your intentions, bro. We want to know what you're doing. Is it going to work or is it going to fail? F your intentions. We don't care. Marcus Garvey he claims he had great intentions. He didn't really mean to scam people. He was hoping that it worked out. He was hoping that the money he got from those stock certificates that was useless, he was hoping that he could use that money and do something positive, therefore balance out the fraudulent scheme he had to do. Because I can now do something great with it. Hey, I had to go bad to be good. Didn't work. Intentions is nothing if you are 100% wrong. Bad analogy. But I got something for you. And the videos, no, they are siding with me. Okay, not you.
Why is Amazon paying me $63,000?
That right there.
They unlocked the door.
They can raise the property value up and kick grandma out of her house. The public school shutdown movement is a part of the white gentrification movement. Are y'all following me? They are hand in hand, one and the same. But we're not done yet. So they brought Dr. Umar to New York to open up 3 charter schools, which shut down 3 to 6 public schools. But they not done with me yet. Because after they use me to shut down the public schools in 3 to 5 years, guess what they going to do to me? Shut me down. I'm going to get a letter in the mail from the State Secretary of Education saying,
So now this is what folks was talking about earlier. That's projection. What they gonna do is shut. So he didn't do it yet. They didn't do it yet. This is his projection to not do it. They're gonna shut me down. This is the failure mentality we don't need. Brother, go do it. Go be great and then be shut down and talk to us.
Summer 2021 belongs to my school, our school. I am inside of your
2021. It's just 2090 right now.
school, Pan-African excellence. Hit the Cash App. Let's finish what we started. Hit the Cash App. Let's finish what we started.
Never actually doing work. Let's get back here.
When they're going to see me, but they know 2 to 3 times every day I'm going to show up.
Okay.
And I'm looking for classroom management, and I'm listening to see if the children are learning the methods that I've trained the teachers to use. And so that's number one.
Okay.
Someone that cares and loves children and committed.
What's number 2, you think, as far as what can we steal to address the academics?
Trained staff.
Okay.
Staff have to be prepared and trained. Even the
I have to touch, from 2000 to 2005, there's been maybe 30,000, and I may be off 1,000 or 2, 30,000 kids who have dropped out of high school. Certainly 25%, which is the overall for the city. That dropout rate, how do you think we can address
same people in the classrooms.
the material or the people?
The people.
Because let's say I may not be interested in college, but yet and still I have to take a Calculus 2 class, and I have no interest in Calculus 2, I have no interest in college, I'm not interested in.
Well, it's the teacher's job to make children interested in learning, to stimulate them.
Okay, so she's focused on teachers, better teachers, all right, not ADD, ADHD, and all this crap, or CRT. Nothing what he's talking about, nothing Umar's talking about. She addressed the real things that affect people in school, because she is not a school clinical psychologist. She is an actual principal. She ain't a fake one, she's a real one, and she's a principal of an active school that's producing results under her guidance.
Well, then there should be some vocational training for those children, because everyone does this.
Bringing that, introducing that back. Are you okay?
I'm for that, but those were things that our parents taught us.
Okay.
That the schools are now doing that. But you may have a student that's very good and might become a famous chef. So that could introduce them to that. But yeah, anything that's going to help children learn, if that's what they.
Okay. That's my time of gun again. I'm gonna finish up on this. Go ahead, brother.
What's her school called?
Let me stop your time. I got to go to the beginning to get that. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me just do this real fast, because we can Google her. Oh, she said it. Remember, it's STEM. It was the science, math, something, civics. Yeah, she just said it. Here we go. Mathematics, civics, and science charter school.
Okay, just give me 1 second before you start my time.
Yeah. In Philadelphia. She ain't go to Delaware. She ain't go where nobody black live at. She's in the midst of black folks. Yeah. By the way, this video, I'm going to show you this. This is my channel. This is 11 years ago. Okay, I uploaded this 11 years ago. So when I hear Umar, I think this might have been before Umar. So it's like, dude, you're in Philly with her. You had to hear about her. You had to hear about her if you're into schools. You know about her. You could have at least had her counsel you, advise you on what you want to do. But and this is the criticism Marcus Garvey had from Philip Randolph. Like, yo, this guy's a charlatan. It's an ego flex for him. He'll never deliver this shit idea us to Africa, but he wants to just be remembered. He just wants to be remembered in history for good intentions. And you said it best, Focus. Good intentions. 100% wrong, but good intentions. And guess what? Marcus Garvey is now known in history for good intentions, but 100% wrong.
Okay, you can start my time.
Let's go on.
Now, as I said, kudos to her. I'm happy. She is successful in her endeavor. I'm proud she's successful in her endeavor. It's 954 total students. 96% of them are black. I'm happy for her. I'm extremely happy for her that she was able to build a school of 950 majority black kids and have them excel. I am behind her as far as that's concerned. It does not negate the necessity for us to have a different dynamic in the school system. In fact, about it, it shows the necessity of us having a different dynamic in the school system. We have to do things differently. Now, there's hundreds of millions of children in this country. 20 to 30 million young black children in this country. 954 students in her school. She created an endeavor for black people and it's working. And I'm happy for her. Has nothing to do with my point. Bolsters my point, actually. See, the reality of the matter is school in its current paradigm is a detriment to us. We need something different. Now, as I stated earlier, civics, science, mathematics, all cool. I'm down with that. Okay? I'm down with that. When we come to the history, when it comes to the position of black people, when it comes to certain systemic issues that exist, we need to expound upon that school and also show and prove why black people are in the position that we're in. We need that. That is pertinent. Now, as I said before, I don't know the logistics of Umar's school, and I'm not arguing it. The fact is, there's nowhere that says that the school he's trying to produce won't teach civics, mathematics, and science. These classes or areas of study would still be required and pertinent, and even the type of school that Umar is building. Okay? My only point, and I'll say it again, is the necessity for us to take a different approach to the schooling of our children. That's all I'm saying. This school that this beautiful sister has is taking a different approach to the teaching of our children because it's necessary, because systematically they're miseducating us, because they make money off of our failure. So, regardless of her success, it does not negate the point that I'm making, which is in order to gain success, we got to take a different approach. That's all I'm saying. Now, you can talk about Marcus Garvey and the certain ways that they connect with Umar's building. I'm not arguing that. I already argued my point on why both are different. I mentioned going back to Africa, us not taking part in the things we have built here. I disagree with all of that. And if Umar is talking that, I disagree with him in that
Time.
regard.
Now, I'm gonna give you, because I was talking when you were looking for something. I'm gonna give you another minute. Hold on. All right, good.
In that regard. So, as I said, I'm only speaking to the necessity. I'm not speaking to the logistics, the brick and mortar, or any of that. Okay? And if Umar is just trying to rob the people, then I condemn him for that. If he never opens the school, and we come to find out that he was just trying to get cash apps from the people to build a lifestyle, I condemn him for that. I don't agree with everything Umar says or everything he does. I'm not even here to argue that. I'm only arguing the necessity, which I've proven time and time again, which this video is proven time and time again. It's not working in its current state. We have to change it. That's Umar's approach, as this is this sister's approach. Okay? But
time. Yeah, I gave you an extra minute because I was talking while you were looking for whatever you're looking for. All right. Damn, I hate to play Vlad shit because he will flag you. But I'm gonna start right now.
Dr. Umar Johnson, welcome to Vlad TV.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. You know, big fan of your work. Saw you on the Breakfast Club a few times for many, many years.
Okay. Philadelphia. No,
What was the environment?
the spirit than it is of the economic fourth and fifth of direction, a sense of motivation. Put at a
Are you looking to start your own business? Well, look no further than busy.com. Right now, we'll complete your
disclaimer to that. As you probably went back to Millersville, I could get the education paid for. And so I went back and I enrolled in the school psychology program. I think we have to understand the context in which African-American men are reared. It is a school that I conceived of a very long time ago, but began to actually put teeth into the creation of that school a couple of years ago. We're interested in acquiring the St. Paul's College, Lawrenceville, Virginia. It's an HBCU, closed down about 3 years ago, and it's just been sitting there unoccupied for 3 years. There's a $2 million price tag on that property. We've raised $700,000 over the past year and a half to who told me I would need to put at least $1 million into the property after I purchase it. So it's not looking as bright as an school, 300 to 500 students, and then evolving into the starting with a regular community school, 300 to 500 students, and then evolving into the residential academy that I want. But my concept is residential academy. I attended a residential academy, Scotland School for Veterans Children in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, which is now closed. So I understand the benefit of being able to control a child's entire environment.
Well, that's interesting. You actually want to buy and control your own school. You don't see too many people that actually aspire to that.
No,
nobody. There's a wild ass dream. It's like nobody inspired or aspires to get a damn steamship.
Many of us have fell for what I would call the charter school hustle or the charter school trap. Charter schools have actually been on the rise concomitantly as we've seen a decline in African-American independent schools. When charter schools were created in 1990, they were created so that white folk could take public money and educate white children in a school that legally could not be called private, but could pretty much operate as if it was private. So the charter school was a compromise. How do I
Let's debunk that right now.
I would be certainly in support of that.
Earlier, we touched on the violence in the school, and you shared how pubs, Parents United for Better Schools, was originally founded, violence prevalent throughout the address.
And we go days without fighting, months without fighting, weeks we don't have a lot of fights there because it's not allowed. There's a policy, and everyone's very clear on that there's no physical contact within the school.
Okay.
So the children understand, and we only suspend the first hitter. We don't suspend everyone because someone hit and someone felt that they had to defend themselves. So our children.
This is somebody who's successful for many. This is 1999 when she started this. Many years successful in Philadelphia. And all Umar does, because he wants your money, all he does is make up excuses to do it the traditional way, where there's checks and balances. He doesn't want checks and balances. He wants to do what he wants to do. He would have been fired long ago with all of his scandals. Consider all the scandals he's been a part of, giving his school a bad name that had checks and balances. He would have been fired. It would have been got him out of there. He doesn't want that. He wants to Jay Morrison. He wants to do those things, the Garvey stuff, where they're in sole control. They're like a dictator of the whole school. They could fire and hire as they want. He don't want any checks and balances. You'll never see a school excuses to have checks and balances. When people reached out to him, genuinely reached out to him in the past and wanted to give him support and advice, he rejected all of it because they're not the Pan-Africanist he is. This dude is a complete narcissist. He'll never, I mean, how many more years do we need to conclude that this dream is as good as the steamship dream? It's not going to come to fruition. It can't. He has no real plan. You never heard a plan, no bullet point, nothing. It's a secret because white folks would shut him down. You heard him say it. It's a dream. It's a farce. He wants your money. All right, brother, it's on you.
All right, so let's put things into context here. Charter schools in the United States, brother, while they operate with more autonomy than traditional public schools, they're still bound by a charter and a contract or a charter between the state and local government and educational laws, okay? And they must adhere to state and federal education laws. So if Trump says, don't teach critical race theory, that's a federal law, brother. And charter schools are bound to adhere to that. So we can give you higher education and give you science, technology, engineering, mathematics, et cetera, and try to create better outcomes for Black children. And I'm down with all of that. But when it comes time to teach them about institutional racism, when it comes time to have a class that's called systemic racism and its connection to the Black wealth gap, it's illegal. Charter schools can't teach that. And this is why it's important to have the traditional independent Black school. If you want to have a class called Jewish control of the media and how it negatively affects fortunes and outcomes for Black people, you can't have that class. It's illegal because charter schools are bound by federal and state education laws. They're publicly funded, brother. And a contract between the school and whatever authorizing body that exists, they're beholden to it. Or 9 times out of 10, the authorizing body is a school district or state agency. They're still beholden. They're still handcuffed. They still have to operate within certain rules that independent Black schools do not have to operate within. Now, it's not to say a charter school with 96% Black people that are producing great outcomes and they could say hello in 5 different languages and they know their mathematics and et cetera, it's not a good thing, but it's not the complete goal that should be trying to be met with Black people educating their children. There are overt and covert systematic issues that are put in place to that handcuffed Black people and that destroyed our ability to get forward. You can't teach that form of history. You can't. You have a charter. You're publicly funded, meaning you have to send them the curriculum. And anything that they do not disagree with, or anything that is not that they, you know, and I say anything that they don't disagree with, and only things that they quote unquote agree with are accepted. So these are 2 different approaches to schooling the youth. There is much benefit in having independent Black schools that aren't beholden to the curriculum, that aren't publicly funded, that are not do not have to adhere to state and federal education laws. Charter schools have to do that. So when the brother talks about them removing independent Black schools for charter schools in 1990, and he says that was a ploy, if you will, so that they can have more oversight over what's being taught to Black young children, is 100% correct.
Time. All right, let me go. All right. I have no idea what this brother talking about. Okay. Let me get back to Umar on charter schools. Because the lying dude, he just went. It's funny because he said, hey, independent schools, they don't have an overhead. They got to adhere to federal. Yes. You got to adhere to federal and state laws. You should comply. Now, if you believe the scare tactic, if Donald Trump, again, it's hypothetical, scary stuff. If, bro, let's just talk about what's happening right now. I don't want to do hypotheticals. If, okay? If was a fit, okay? Who's to say he's not going to teach science and math and civics? Well, brother, did he ever, on any podcast, he ever express thorough knowledge in science, math, and civics? Hell no. So he's not going to teach that. Whatever regulations that are set that a school can't deal with, you can do it after school. It's called after school programs. It cannot be done during the time of school. After school, you can set those programs up. You can have everything you're saying that will be blocked off in a alarmist way, some scary stuff. They can explain to parents, hey, let your kids stay after school. But what else are they going to do? Get involved in crime, criminal. Hey, why can't they stay another 2 hours and learn this crap that Focus is talking about? Okay. I need Focus to give me an example of one of these Black independent schools that's very successful. Like, if he keeps saying Black independent schools don't got to adhere to these things, brother, can you give us one? Can you just Google real fast so we can look at it? Like, I gave you a charter school, very successful by Black women, 96% Black kids, and guess what? They're in the heart of Philadelphia, a predominantly Black area, city that's known for violence and all type of degenerate behavior, but she's successful in the belly of the beast. She's successful. So Google some Black independent schools and tell us about that while I play this Umar stuff.
Fund public education without funding private education, since we have a separation of church and state clause in public education. So the charter school was that compromise. Once African Americans started getting involved, and of course, Philadelphia, I live where we have the largest amount of charter schools in the country, Philadelphia, and some of the oldest ones. We also see a backlash against charter schools where they're shutting them down. And I always was not a big proponent of charter schools because I understood that if the state controls it and the state owns it, ultimately at the end of the day, if they want to put you out of business, they can. And that's exactly what they've been doing. We've seen more African American.
Okay, brother, she's been up since 1999. What are you talking about? See, so he's talking like DJ Focus, or DJ Focus is talking like him. This hypothetical, they could shut you down, so let's not even start. It's 99. Okay, it's 26 years. She's up and running. All this, they'll shut you down. This scared talk, dude, how about try it? Do it, and then come back and say, hey, man, this is the reason why, family, I got to do it this way. There was no reason for him to jump to this university. You heard what he said. He wanted a university. This dude just wanted money with no regulations, no state, no federal. I want money so I can not deliver the school, but have this money, and don't question me where the money's at. Don't question me how it's spent. Don't question me, am I on payroll or not? Umar, are you on payroll? Did you get a salary? Jay Morrison took hella salaries when he was forced to show his books. Umar, is that going to be your end game? Or are you going to go out like Jay Morrison? Jay Morrison, the hell, man. Y'all can call me what y'all want to call me. I'm leaving with these millions. Have you seen Jay Morrison videos lately? He went from like 80,000 went in 1 hour or 2 hours to 6 views. He even stopped. He gave up. Is that going to be Umar? Because he's also delivering nothing. He needs more donors. Yo, this school, when he first had the idea, those 7-year-olds, those 10-year-olds who was wistful of the school, they are now parents themselves, and now they have 10-year-olds waiting on this damn school. This has become a dream and a nightmare. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's see.
I'm so happy.
Me too. Thank you.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Me too. Thank you.
I'm looking at, it says 521 black-owned schools in America. I want to do more research on them, though, because, you got Thomas Leadership Academy, Hall Academy, Atlanta Unbound Academy, but I'm not exactly sure if these schools are publicly funded or not. But they say that they're black-owned. So I'm not sure if they're publicly funded, but you got ZAM Learning Academy, Village Academy, Aquarius School for Kids, Excelsior Village Academy, Envision Science Academy. These are black-owned schools. Now, we talk about the wild success of this school in Philadelphia. There's 344,091 black children in Philadelphia. Less than 1,000 go to this school. So successful in the outcomes of the students who chose to come there, yes. Successful in making a significant dent as comparable to the public school system and owning the minds of our youth? Absolutely not. We have to have more of these schools and more of our children go there. Now, the reality of the matter is Dr. Umar made a good point. He made a point saying that they purposely shifted away from the independent black school, independently owned black school, towards the charter school because the charter school is beholden to the government. Now, you say that's a good thing. I disagree. I don't think we should be bound or beholden to the state and federal laws regarding our curriculum. I believe our curriculum we should be able to build it independently, and then we will see the outcomes after that. Now, you say I'm making stuff up, and Yeah, I'm talking fictitious. Brother, Trump ended all critical race theory in schools. That's a federal law. Trump ended it. Boom. Took it out. You will lose your funding if you teach that systemic racism exists. That systemic racism is built into every institution in this country. You will lose your funding, brother. They don't want young kids, black kids, knowing why the black problem is the black problem, because they're in fear that if we come to the realization that we've been purposely plotted against, miseducated, destabilized, and destroyed, that a violent fervor would come up in us and that we would retaliate against the system and against the machine. They want us fighting and killing one another. They don't want the young black youth coming together to revolt, coming together to hold the true people who held us down accountable. So they have a vested interest in making sure we don't know the programs, policies, rules, and laws put in place to destroy us and to keep us destabilized, which is why they moved to charter schools. We'll give you some money, but you go and teach what we tell you to teach. You can have a little bit of autonomy when it comes to performing arts, and when it comes to, using your particular teaching approach in science, technology, engineering, and math. But when it comes to the true, knowledge that black people need to have with regards to their history, with regards to how we got in the diaspora, with regards to the people that are plotting against us, with regards to systematic racism, institutional racism, and all of these things that would explain how black people got in the position that they're in. Scholars that can teach you about eugenics and Margaret Sanger and different ones.
All right, time is time. Okay, it's my time. Okay, so I love when you make a claim. I love when you just wing it. I don't know why people do this versus me. He said Trump put an end to CRT. Okay. Dude, why do you do this to yourself, man?
Dad.
No, you ain't gonna interrupt me now. Go over there. I'm gonna cook right here on them. Go. Okay. Former President Donald Trump took steps to limit discussions of critical race theory, CRT, in government training in public schools, but he did not completely end it. Okay. So now, watch this. Let's go down. 2020. This is the first term. 2020. Did Trump completely end CRT? Wait. Blocked by courts and reversed by Biden. What the hell is this guy talking about? Yeah, start Googling. In December 2020, a federal judge blocked Trump's executive order, ruling that it violated free speech rights. In January 2021, President Joe Biden revoked Trump's order, reinstating diversity and inclusion training. Did Trump completely end CRT in schools? No. Trump policies made it harder to teach CRT at the federal level, but he did not ban it nationwide. However, his actions influenced Republican-led states to pass anti-CRT laws in public schools. State-level bans inspired by Trump policy. After Trump actions, many Republican states passed laws restricting CRT in K-12 schools. All right. Conclusion: Trump did not completely end CRT in schools, but his actions laid the foundation for many state bans that followed. Would you like an analysis of CRT laws in different schools? So Trump did not ban it. You kept saying federal. Okay, so everything he was based on was federal. The charters are federal. So now it's illegal. No, it's not illegal federally. You just lied because you're trying to wing it. And I'm going to clip that on you. Okay, so now let's go and show the school that Focus thinks is going to exist one day.
Summer 2021 belongs to my school, our school. I am inside of your school, Pan-African excellence. Hit the
so far, that's just been your school. Nobody's been there but you.
Cash App. Let's finish what we started. Hit the Cash App. Let's finish.
He needs your cash app. He didn't say investors, liar. He keep asking for cash apps, okay? Public donations to finish the school. He can't finish the school without your cash app. He can't pay staff or himself without your cash app.
What we started, $ FDMG school. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Send them check of money orders. Send them check of money orders to FDMG Academy. We about to make history. We about to make history. I'm about to put in the application for the first annual Unapologetically African Family First Festival. I'm about to put the application in for the first annual.
Hey, yo, put an application in for a new job, bro. Because this right here ain't working. All right, this little dream you got here is a nightmare. Now, he named this school Marcus Garvey after a person who failed in their ideologies, right? And what's funny is Marcus Garvey named one of his ships the Shady Side.
Is that Charger over there?
So Marcus Garvey named one of his ships the Shady Side, which was ironic. And what's ironic is that he named the school part of the name of the school is Marcus Garvey, a failure and scammer. But he had good intentions. Dude, none of what he's doing was called. Nobody was calling for this. This was not a supply and demand thing. This is something that he wanted to do. He felt like he should be bigger than what he is. He's seen. Now, you said something about the school in Philadelphia. 500 something students, it's 3,000, whatever. Bro, if Umar was successful, it'd be the same thing. Umar would have a couple hundred children, and the 30,000 would still be missing. It's about getting it popping, getting it started to show it can happen. This is the proof of concept. What he should have did was hop on, but he can't do that. He has to be the leader. He has to teach this BS Pan-Africanist, Afrocentric bullshit that's based on pseudoscience. You got to believe everybody was black. That's my time.
Okay, 1 second. I gotta put my phone in charger because I'm on 1%. Huh?
There's no more.
There's no more what?
There's no more.
Yeah, but you want some more spaghetti?
Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, more spaghetti.
Okay, sit right here and eat the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Thanks. 11:55 already. Oh boy.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can the chat hear me? I want to know because I took my headphones off.
We can hear you. You're a little muffled, but we can hear you.
I don't like the muffledness.
Now I like it because you ain't so damn loud and angry. Like, nah, you need a filter. This dude can't have a civil conversation. He always gotta be yelling.
I haven't yelled one time tonight.
Yo, bro, you need to watch this over. This like straight anger. Like, dude, can you just talk?
This is a very important point I want to make, and I'm mad that I'm muffled. Am I muffled too bad to where?
No, we can actually hear you. We can actually hear you. You're not muffled as you think you are. You're muffled compared to what you were before. We actually can. I can hear what you're saying.
Okay. So you can start my time.
Yeah.
You. I'm about to get this guy here. Ha ha ha. Yeah. The former the Trump, the critical race theory. Huh? Oh, no, Biden sent it back. You messed up from the beginning when you said former President Trump at the beginning of your oratory. He is the current president, brother. Now, this is January 29th, 2025. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Parents trust America's school to provide their children with rigorous education and to instill patriotic admiration for our incredible nation and the values for which we stand. In recent years, however, parents have witnessed schools indoctrinate their children in radical anti-American ideologies while deliberately blocking parental oversight. Such an environment acts as an echo chamber in which students are forced to accept these ideologies without question or critical examination. In many instances, innocent children are compelled to adopt identities as either victims or oppressors solely based on their skin color and immutable characteristics. Let's go down a little bit. He says, hold on. My administration will enforce the law to ensure that recipients of federal funded funds providing K through 12 education comply with all applicable laws prohibiting discrimination in various contexts and protecting parental rights, etc., etc. This is whitehouse.gov. When that man talks about the victims or oppressors based upon their race or by their skin color, what he's saying there is black people are playing the victim card and have no right to actually discuss the victimhood that we have endured. He was quoted in saying, I'm removing CRT and critical race theory from every K through 12 publicly funded school. Brother, this is his mandate. It's in effect. You will lose your funding if you teach critical race theory. You lose it. This is current. Okay? Let me see. What is it? Patriotic education means a presentation of the history of America grounded in an accurate, honest, unifying, inspiring, and ennobling characterization of America's founding and foundational principles. A clear examination of how the United States has admirably grown closer to its noble principles throughout history. The concept that commitment to America's aspirations is beneficial and justified. The concept that celebration of America's greatness and history is proper. Brother, they will not allow you to teach the shame of America. They will not allow you to teach the racism, institutional racism of America. This is whitehouse.gov last month. You reading some shit from 5 years ago when he's the president now. You're wrong, brother. Right now, he has. Go ahead, talk. Let my phone
now, this is embarrassing. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. He said 5 years ago, brother, it's saying former president to show you which term he did this. This is very embarrassing. That's why it says 2020. This was a different term. Remember? He won, then he lost, and then he won again. This ain't the same term. So this was the former president. What the hell are we doing here? This is ChatGPT. Are you serious? What's wrong? This is up to date. This is when he did it. They're going to when he executive order in September 2020. Okay, so now let's go on. So now he did not complete it, but let's move on. Let's move on. You said it's illegal. It's a mandate. Stop lying. States that allow critical race theory, CRT, in schools. There is no official nationwide mandate for teaching critical race theory in K through 12 public schools. But some states allow discussions of systemic racism, privilege, and historical racial inequalities as part of their curriculum. Liar. States that allow or support CRT in schools. These states have not banned CRT. It is legal to teach it, liar. These states have not banned CRT and allowed discussions of race, history, and systemic inequality in schools. California, New York, Illinois, Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, New Jersey, of course, Connecticut. Okay, what are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? This is outdated. This is chat. Chat. This is up to date. Like, what the hell wrong with this guy? But you would question Chat GPT. You're smart. I got it. This guy gonna read the WhiteHouse.com a damn statement by Trump and say it's a mandate. How is a statement or a belief or an ideology a mandate or an opinion? He lost his mind. But let's go back to this school that's never gonna happen.
Unapologetically African Family First Festival right here in Wilmington, Delaware at your school, my school, our school. Mail your check or money orders. And if you want to work at the school, send the resumes, fdmgresumes@gmail.com, fdmgresumes@gmail.com, FDMG resumes, brothers and sisters.
What are the salaries, my boy? You want everybody to work for free? So again, he's collecting donations, his own words, to finish what they started. Bro, how much does it cost? We just seen a whole building, a whole school. That's probably, you see how many floors it was. It's larger than this. 400,000 pounds. That's probably like probably 450,000 American dollars, 480,000 American dollars. He admitted he collected almost $1 million. How you collect over $1 million? And this school look like it's one floor school, and you can't get this thing started. You collected more money than the guy who almost doubled. This guy collected almost half what you did, and his school's up and running the right way. And I think less than probably 5 to 7 years. Gotta watch the video again. The whole thing. This guy is on his 15th, 14th, 13th year, and $700,000 was not enough. He needs more. And the other guy told you, contractors went bust. I mean, they took the money. He said it like 3 times. He said he had to invest his own money. Contractors kept skipping out on him. So you would think he'll have a mix. So imagine if it took 5 to 7 years and contractors skipped out. Umar said only one contractor skipped out. He said about 3. We had to invest his own money. Umar only had one contractor skip out, and this guy, 14 years later. Bruh, it's not going to happen. Not with him, and not his way. This independent black, all this pseudo bull mumbo jumbo black plebiscite babble, all this black plebiscite babble that Umar spews, it's dangerous. It's as dangerous as Marcus Garvey plebiscite babble. It's dangerous language. Okay, again, let's hypothetically say CRT is somehow banned and illegal. Again, he didn't respond when I say you can teach this in an after-school program. You cannot, if it is banned, which is not, you can't teach it during the hours of school, but after school you can. That's my time.
1 second.
I'll wait in silence.
Put my headphones on.
If you got a video you want to play, just let me know.
No, I don't. Okay, so first of all, even when you talk about 2021 and when Biden was all in there, you named those states, Pennsylvania wasn't one of them. Pennsylvania is one of the 22 states during Biden's administration that introduced legislation to ban critical race theory from being taught. So that's Philadelphia as well. So that great school we're talking about, charter school, can't teach critical race theory. That's first of all. Second of all, hold on. Let's go article for article. Okay. KTS M9 News. President Trump signs executive order banning critical race theory. February 3rd, 2025. CBS News. Trump takes aim at critical race theory in schools. Trump's attack on critical race theory. UCLA School of Law. KSNT News. President Trump signs executive order banning critical race theory. Brother, he signed an executive order soon as he got up in the office banning critical race theory. You will lose your funding, my man. Now you go read the WhiteHouse.gov press release. You go follow these sources I just gave you and Google something not from 2020 and you'll see that that man came into office and banned critical race theory, signed an executive order to ban critical race theory. Done. Up out of here. So my point is valid and my point remains. You're wrong. Mister, I'm going to get you. I love when you talk and you just, who do you think I am? I don't talk to hear myself be heard. Trump banned critical race theory, signed the executive order. Get it up out of here. Prior to Trump, nearly half of the states in the union banned critical race theory. Pennsylvania, one of them. There's an attack on the notion being taught that systemic racism exists, that America came from some racial bullshit. They want to whitewash and change the curriculum, brother. They want you to be beholden to it or you will not get federal funding. This is the difference between the charter, publicly, federally funded schools and the independent black schools. You can't teach how you got in this situation to a school that's 96% black. You can't teach how systemic injustices, rules, laws, programs, and policies and outline and go through a full semester teaching young black kids about the racist policy that ill affected them and why we ended up in a position to have these high statistical indicators. You can't teach that. As I said, they do not want to ignite a violent fervor out of children that they have already made violent, but violent against one another. Using the media and the music and different apparatuses to incite violence amongst young black youth and have them drill each other and kill each other. And they don't want that violence turned towards the dominant society. So they're doing everything they can to keep you sleeping, keep you in the matrix. So day one, I'm going to ban critical race theory. We're going to teach you about patriotic history and make you love America. We're going to make you learn about America's valiant history and build a bunch of patriots. But we will not teach young black children how they got in the position that they in. See, more power to the young sister for taking 954 kids and teaching them about science, technology, engineering, and math. But if it's not counterbalanced with black pride, if it's not counterbalanced with black history, true black history, if it's not counterbalanced.
Time is time. Okay. So this guy reads KPN9 News. Who knows what their political affiliation is? First of all, you said it was illegal. Trump signed a mandate, okay, that was to defund. That's not illegal to teach it. He was saying he was defunding federal money to go into teaching CRT. That's not illegal. Okay, so you're wrong. Those were your words. You said it was illegal to teach CRT. Trump signed a mandate, made it illegal. You can't legally teach it. You got to read the article correctly. he did a mandate to defund federal money going into CRT, which only red states, when I'm reading, only red states actually banned it. The blue states, that's why I read some blue states, they actually teach it in 2025. Okay, you don't have to go after federal funding. It used to be you can, so it's not illegal, like you said. You're wrong and you misrepresent information as you normally do. You got to tap in, brother. I'll help you out. Okay, so Umar. Okay, so now how does Umar help this out? So again, that's why I said hypothetically, let's go with that. See, I'm a guy I'm unbiased. I go both angles. Let's say if it's not in the school, it can be taught after school. Again, it's not illegal. You're just not getting any more federal funding to teach it. You can teach it though. You can teach it. What's banned is federal funding. So go do some more research. Anyway, if it is banned, you can, as I keep saying, you can do it after school. So if something is banned or made illegal to be done in schools, you can teach it after school programs. That's on Black people to further educate. What else? When your kid leaves the school, what are they going to do? Why they can't stay for 2 hours to learn CRT? Why can't they go home and be with mom and dad and the family and join Umar's live discussing CRT? And how often do you got to learn this in school to learn it? Like how many years it takes to learn CRT? And what grade do you want to start? How many different ways can you explain it? This ain't something that you got to keep saying over and over and over and over and over. Like science, there's different fields of science, there's different learning. So chemistry, you might be dealing with sig figs, you might be dealing with the periodic element chart, you might be dealing with moles, you might be dealing with atomic mass, atomic number, you might be doing experiments, who knows? Okay, but it's continuous, there's different levels of it. Same thing with biology, same thing with math. It keeps evolving and transitioning to something different. It's all called math, but something different. How much of CRT do you got to learn? But yeah, and how many years? How many months? So we got to build a whole university for Black boys. Like, stop. That's not the focus. The focus are the things that's difficult to learn that's causing us issues in the competitive market out here, the competitive fair market. There's no job waiting on you for CRT. But if you're a mathematician, if you're great with this, you're an English major, you can go to Japan and teach English and India teach English. You got all these different things that you could be great at, and there's something out there waiting for you. You learn CRT, congratulations, you're the next Dr. Umar. Okay? You're the next Dr. Umar to this guy said $2 million. He wanted $2 million to buy this campus. Y'all don't think that's crazy? Yo, that campus idea, we ain't gonna ignore it. He settled for the school in Delaware. He wanted those steamships in 2025. That's what they were. That campus, that was the modern 2025 steamship line. His ideas are not that far from Marcus Garvey. They're crazy. They're crazy and they're impractical. And that's my time. Go. Once you start talking, I'm going to start it. But, I mean, you can't purposely.
Hold on, let's put my headphones in. 1 second.
Trying to research on the low.
I'm not researching anything, brother. I'm well researched. Okay. You can start my time.
Okay, we're on.
Okay, brother, we're not talking about after school programs. We're not talking about Umar Johnson's lives. We're not talking about your parents teaching you. What we're talking about is the schools that these kids spend 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, 9 months a year in, that teach them the bedrock of their understanding, the bedrock of their education. That's what we're talking about. Now, when you say that Trump signed a mandate to remove federal funding, that's exactly what I said. I said you will lose your funding. I never said you was going to jail. If you mean illegality in the sense of you were going to catch a charge and go to jail, I never said that. But based upon this mandate, it is against the law, which means it's unlawful, which means it's illegal. And the consequence is you will lose your federal funding by not adhering to the educational laws passed down by the administration. Wrong again. As usual. As usual, you wrong again. You will lose your federal funding if you teach your children in a charter school about systematic racism, critical race theory, the racist history of America, and how it ill affected Black people specifically. You lose it because you didn't follow the educational laws. Therefore, you were unlawful. Therefore, it was illegal. That's a fact. Okay? Now, you want to keep jumping back to Umar and Marcus Garvey, and none of that shit is my point. I already expounded upon what I meant by the differences in Umar's approach and Marcus Garvey's approach. I understand the school is called the Marcus Garvey Academy. I understand that. You jump back to that because you think that's where you have a point in, but you're straw manning. That is not my argument, brother. My argument is that there's a necessity for Black schools, independent Black schools, and we need schools that are not handcuffed and bound by federal laws and bound by the curriculum that the same system we're trying to teach them about creates for them. We need schools that aren't beholden to the system that is teaching these young kids teaching us that we can't teach the young kids about the system that they and their forefathers came up in and how that system placed Black people at a severe and supreme disadvantage. You can't go in there and then you say, how many times we gotta talk? Brother, do you know how many different aspects and angles you can teach systematic institutional racism from? You can have a class called redlining and the effects thereof. You can have a class called the Housing Act and state by state. And you can explain to these young kids how in this state the Housing Act affected this people. And in that state, the Housing Act affected that people. And in this state, redlining affected this people. And in that state, redlining affected this people. You can have a class called Understanding the In-Depth Knowledge of the Freedmen Bank. One semester. And we teach you it from every different aspect. You can go through K through 12 and you can find plenty of different ways to teach the systematic racism and injustices in depth, not gloss it over, but teach them in depth. So by the time that young child leaves school, he is fully adept to why we are in this position, fully adept on how we can get out of this position, fully prepared to fight for repair and reparation, fully prepared to not be a part of the same system that just destroyed them by going out there and selling drugs and acting a goddamn fool. But as long as we're handcuffed in
time. I've been yelling time. I was on mute. Time. All right.
Let me just say this real quick. After your After your 5 minutes, I'm going to go 5 minutes. Then I got to get off this phone.
All right, no problem.
So we can come to a conclusion. But go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. So this school, this mythical school, is what we were talking about, because you trying to act like we were not talking about it. You brought it up. You said this is the reason why we need a school. This is the reason why you didn't say we need a school. You said this is the reason why Dr. Umar need to build such a school. You said that. You didn't say why. You didn't say leave it open for anybody to do it. You said this is the reason why Dr. Umar needs to build this school to teach these things that you think are important, the things that you believe personally, you and other Black activists, Pan-Africans, Afrocentrics believe is important. The normal of us do not believe that's that important. But we believe that's something that can be taught at home. That's something that can be read in a book. That's not something that needs as priority in a classroom setting. That can be taught anywhere. Okay, difficult things to learn needs a classroom setting, like science. Okay, like math, like English. These things you need in a classroom setting. Everything you just said, we can learn about driving, taking a trip to Disneyland. Okay, stop. Her school, the lady Joyner, her school was right here. Veronica Joyner. Her school is called, where's it at? It's called Math, right here. Mathematics, Civics, and Sciences. Not mathematics, civics, and Blackology. Okay? She is going over what's the most important things to teach since 1999 in a dangerous city like Philadelphia. And she is highly successful. She'll be more successful if a charlatan like Umar, Dr. Umar, would have promoted her and said, hey, we need a school for Black boys and girls. Hey, enroll in Veronica Joyner's school. Let's support her because she is successful. And he could have worked out something with her where he could have taught after school or on a Saturday via email the very things you're talking about. But he wants to do it himself to get credit because he sees himself as the chosen one. His words, he's the chosen one. The chosen one can't be a part of somebody else's program. The chosen one got to have his own program. The chosen one needs to be in a spotlight. The chosen one needs to be seen as the chosen one. Everybody got to know who the chosen one is. He's Papa. He's the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Okay? He's Papa. In another sense, he's a Papa to two young girls that he's not in the household of theirs, right? So he's the Prince of fatherless dads and homes as well. So his lifestyle don't even mirror his projection of what he wants for Black people in society. Like, dude, you should have really fought to stay in one of those households. Like, what type of woman are you choosing that don't line up with Pan-Africanist ideologies? At least he found like regular women. He didn't find a Pan-Africanist woman with sharing the same ideologies. So nothing about him is consistent. And I'm gonna yield right there. I'm gonna yield before my time. So you.
Okay. In conclusion,
that was not my conclusion.
I'm about to conclude. I told you.
I guess.
First of all, I want to shout out Plainfield, New Jersey for winning today against Bridgewood, baby. We state champions. Or we going to the state championship. That was the sidebar. Okay.
What's the score?
I'm trying to figure out the score now, but I know we was down at half. T-Bone posted we was down at half, and like everybody was like stressing out in the comments. And then as I'm reading the comments, they like, "Congratulations, go Plainfield, we won!" And
wow.
You know, we played Ridgewood today with the young kid that was on ESPN. He had cancer, Johnny Buckets, and like he like leading the nation or something like that. And like one of 6 players to go for 2,000 points, and like the refs was trying to cheat us and everything, but we ended up pulling it out. So yeah, baby, I'm glad. Playing field all the way. All right. So yeah, in conclusion, brother, I never ever said Umar has to be the one, and Umar opening up a school. All that shit you just made up. I actually said, I hope the brother does good. I hope the brother, succeeds. But if he is doing it for scamming, if he is doing, I condemn him. I mentioned other schools like the University of Islam in the nation and how they were able to build a paradigm. My point is that we need a different path towards educating our youth, our own path towards educating our youth. That's always been my point. It started off with me saying Umar was well qualified to be on these particular channels on the Pierce Morgans. You try to act as though, well, he's not qualified enough to talk about certain talking points. I beg to differ. We end up getting into the schools, and that's how Umar came up. But I also mentioned Umar in conjunction with Rizza Islam, Tariq Nasheed, and various other black scholars that are edified and that more closely represent the black scholarly point of view and not tainted by Democratic or Republican politics. That's the only reason Dr. Umar came up. Never, yeah, Dr. Umar, you keep going back to him like I'm up here, Pan-African Marcus Garvey alumni. I'm here to argue for Dr. Umar. That's not the question. That wasn't the argument. There's valid points he made. We need our own schools. We need to not be beholden by the charters. We need to not be federally funded, lest they can guide our curriculum in ways that they see fit. We need to have more autonomy over what we teach our children. We need to be able to teach them the pertinent things that not only teach them science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but teach them about the very real war being waged against us by the powers that be. To remove us from the individualist mindset into a unified front. To unite us against the systemic issues that plague us. To bring us together on how we consolidate and coordinate the black dollar. To remove fear of the oppressor so that we don't mind working together and beginning a revolution. All these things are pertinent to every young black mind. But as long as we are beholden to their curriculum, as long as we are federally funded, as long as we have charters and contracts and deals with these state and local governments and state and local institutions, we will always be at a loss. You're wrong. We do need independent. We do need necessity. Charter school isn't enough. We need something for us, by us, that will put us in the forefront. Educationally, yes, but also spiritually and physically and mentally and emotionally. And we need a total repair of the black man. And that's what we need to be taught in these particular schools. And I'll end by saying this. You mentioned the dress code. He said you got to wear your natural hair. In this climate, I disagree with that. If you want to bring in young people, a dress code and how you should wear, that's normal. Private schools have it all the time. You got to wear a skirt. You got to wear pants. You got to wear slacks. Dress code is normal. I wouldn't do it with the hair, but I got to go. I appreciate you for having me on. I said that was the end, brother. I got to get off this phone. We can have a part 2 tomorrow.
Oh no, I'm going to close out too.
You can close out, but I'm going to get off this phone.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
I'm definitely going to address some of your points.
You said what?
I'm definitely going to close out and address some of your points in my close out.
All right.
So my time is starting now. I mean, you can hang up. Yeah, it's up to you. You can stick around and hang up. It's up to you. But I'm getting my 5 minutes, and I'm getting off too.
Out of respect, I'll listen to your 5 minutes, and then
Right.
I'll give my salutations, and we can continue this tomorrow.
It's late. All right. Okay, so he said the powers that be. I have no idea. So he uses vague language. They, the them. You know, the pronoun boys. The powers that be, and this does. Okay, how are you going to teach this BS to kids and use pronouns like they and them and don't establish a noun first, and then say the powers that be? And see, this is part of what you want to do in these independent schools. The powers that be, and you just talked about earlier. We want to talk about the Jewish people. Yeah, that's anti-Semitic. You blame a whole damn race of people for what you believe a few might have done illegal. You blame the whole damn race, right? Yeah, that's anti-Semitic. That should be a part of nobody's curriculum. That's like blaming every black person for a few drug dealers and crackheads, which racist people do, and we call them racist. So now he doesn't want to be federally funded. Focus doesn't support it, neither does Umar. So now this is why the topic for welfare needs to happen, because America is built off federal funded programs, right? Financial programs. And they told us all the while they use these federal aid funded programs. They told us no, they didn't tell us anything. They just marginalized us out of it. We couldn't take advantage at all. And then when it's finally up for time for us, it's now legally barred that they can't. They made it illegal to keep these programs from us. Now we can take advantage of these programs. White folks shamed us. No, we're welfare recipient. So we couldn't get it because you didn't allow us to take it. We were discriminated legally, can't get it legally. Now we can legally get it, and you shame us out of it. So you had these black men like Umar and Focus who borrowed these right-wing extremist talking points. It's funny how they say the left has got an agenda and the powers that be. Well, bro, you're borrowing the southern states, the racist, the racist, scientific racist talking points. Yeah, it was to never allow us to be funded like them. Keep us from that. Start from the ground up. So no federally funded stuff. Don't take anybody money, right? That the money that's available, don't take that. Do what Marcus Garvey did. Do what white racist Southerners want you to do. Take the money from poor people, the people who don't have it now, the people that don't have $1 in their bank account, the people with a negative bank account balance, the people with no balance sheet at all, no financial balance sheet, the people who spend beyond their means on a regular basis. We're going to take their money. The people who homes are receiving SNAP and other federal state funded things, we're going to take their money out their pocket and we're going to build this fancy school. Okay, that is a white supremacist extremist talking point. Have black folks, whatever they want to do, have them do it with their own money because they don't really have any money. We left them owning a portion, a fraction of the 1% of the nation's wealth. Okay, so that is a powers to be idea for us to do. Never go after the money that's sitting around. So look, we don't take advantage of the federal money. We're gonna let these white supremacists always have access to that money to build their society. No, brother, that's retarded, and it doesn't work. All it does is create all it does is create dreams that never happen. Trying to do it from the ground up. We have no money, my boy. It's retarded. That's what Garvey did. Took from poor people pockets just to fail. I don't care if it is a scam. Yeah, good intention, but bro, I care because he took from poor people pockets. That's why they funded that's why they started to found the campaign. Garvey must go. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Umar get caught making a deal with the Klan to get the school popping. Yo, look, you want us to be integrated or segregated, right? Okay, well, then you better help me with the school. You better help me get these black boys in the school, or we're gonna be in your schools with your daughters. And that's where he's gonna go next. When they can't get the money from us, we don't have it. They're gonna go to the most extreme white organization and try to sell, hey, if you help us out with this dream, we won't be in your school, so you ain't got to worry about us anymore. So yeah, the whole black independent school is a farce. It's a dream. It's no different than the steamships. It's not going to happen. It should not happen. It's not called for. It's unnecessary. So with that being said, I'm on time. With that being said, that's my summary for today.
Well, I appreciate you for having me on. We can start this. We can get this. Do a part 2 on this. I would love to have a part 2. I have so much rebuttals to what you said, but I'm promised that I would allow you to close and we would do the part 2 of it. So thank you having me on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And we will continue this. Perhaps we can do it tomorrow. I know Friday and Saturday and all that. I'm gonna be done up.
Yeah, I don't mind
so
cooking.
it'll be next week if anything. But if you could, well, I could listen back to it because I'll pick up exactly where you left off for part 2 of this debate tomorrow. In those last 5 minutes, I'll start my point at rebutting that. But thank you for having me on. Always a good time, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Fun like always.
Yeah, fun like always.
I love winning.
We always argue on here, but if they don't realize you my brother and I love you.
But we really ain't argue because we had 5 minutes.
Yeah, this was a good one. I like this format. I like being able to go back and forth. I think the people are, get to really have a clear, concise, what's the word I'm looking for? A clear, concise view of our particular talking points and our particular positions when we're actually allowed to speak. I think it's a lot less adversarial. We're not calling each other names, cussing each other out, yelling and screaming, and the people can hear us, and it makes for a much more palatable dialogue. Let's just say. So, yep.
And you were able to hang on by a limb only because we didn't have really a topic. We was talking about vast things that kept shifting. But
I wiped the floor with you as always, but hanging on by a limb.
That's your opinion turned to a fact. We know how you do.
Just don't erase our lives, so I can play it in the barbershop tomorrow. Don't hide it. Don't make it private. I play it in the shop tomorrow. I'm gonna take a look at the chat tomorrow. I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up early. But
yeah, I might even restream this right once I get up. How many hours was this? Was it what time you hopped on?
I feel as though I hopped on around 9.
Please say 10.
No, it was a little after 9. It was probably like 9:20 or so. Yeah,
so
it's about 3 hours. A little over 3 hours.
Yes, I like to make it like 3 hours the most.
Yeah, it wasn't too much longer than that. It wasn't too much longer.
Well, I'm gonna start. So tomorrow, I'm gonna try to keep some context, but I'm gonna like to start around when the time started to be involved.
Well, you can. We talked for about 15 to 20 minutes at first, talking about the one brother who was supposed to come on, and I think we talked about
all that.
Yeah, all that we can skip. And get to the juice, but just be cognizant of when you started, that we don't remove any of our cooking points pertaining to this conversation. All right. All right, brother, man, take care. Peace to the chat. Hotep, salam alaikum. Peace to the gods.
Oh yeah, IBM
Au
wanted your phone
revoir.
number.
Arrivederci. You said what?
I guess tomorrow you give me your phone number.
You said my new phone number?
Yeah, IBM.
Oh, IBM. Oh, he said give you his number. Give me. He said give.
Yeah, I don't know why he said. Yeah, that's retarded.
Wait, give him my number. He wants my number.
Look, I'm gonna do this because that's like dumb. I don't know why he didn't just suggest, hey, give Focus my number. Why would he say, hey, let me give Focus number? Like that was.
No,
dumb.
you can give him my number. Give him my number. Tell him to send me a text. We can talk.
But wouldn't it have been easier for me just to pass his number to you and you text him?
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Because I gotta ask you to, hey, is that cool? But for him, I don't.
I would prefer you give him the number so that he can shoot me a text. Because
you got a new number?
No, I got the same number. I have the same number for years.
Yeah, because I blocked his little ass on Facebook, being disrespectful. But but I will figure out a way to give it to him.
You blocked me on Facebook?
For IBM.
Oh, you block Javier. Funny.
Yeah. Nah, he was, trust me, when you get blocked like that, you're being, like, you're doing the most.
What page is this on? Unbiased?
Yeah, Unbiased Ron.
Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. So tomorrow,
All right.
we get it in. And
All right.
you are, again, man, anytime you want to go to something else, you dig, let me know. I mean, just go to it. Like, there's really no set nothing. You dig, whatever you want to talk about. So if you want to switch it, if it doesn't switch, it's on you. It's because you want to stay where we're at.
Daddy.
And I don't mind.
Daddy.
But I would love to cook on other things too.
Yeah, we can. I just want to continue this.
Yeah, no problem. I don't mind. I'm gonna keep roasting Umar. It's all good. And matter of fact, I'm gonna have more stuff.
I see why you kept going back to him, because that's all the chat is talking about.
You kept going back to him.
No, you kept going back to him every time. I'm talking about all different stuff, but I guess we did have a Umar centric conversation.
I can't respond to you.
But the whole chat, all they talking about is the Umar. They ain't talking about the black schools. They ain't talking about the federal funding being stripped from teaching about black systematic racism. They just talking about Umar.
15 years in and nothing, bro. Come on. And now, if that was anybody else, if that was Mark Lamont Hill talking about, I'm gonna deliver a school, or Roland Martin, you would be cooking the hell out of them. 15 years later, nothing, and they got all the money.
Bro, I'm not here. I'm not here in defense of Umar. That's not my thing. But we can't negate, his intellect. We can't negate his intellect, or the fact that he's out here, trying, and he's on the front line.
As long as he stays in his lane, as long as he stays in his lane, we can't negate his intellect. But when he goes out of his lane, we can negate his intellect.
Man, they talk about Umar. They just totally ignored every point that I made.
They did not ignore your points
about curriculum. I don't know. I got to read these damn things. But all right, let me get off here. All right, love you guys.
All right.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
All right, so chat, we're gonna wrap it up. I gotta get in this bed to dig. Your focus did not want to hang up. Yeah, he is a funny guy, yo. Yeah, so he's gonna run and respond to what I said, cool. Because I'm gonna cook Umar some more, man. And guess what? I now gonna look through these videos, right? Of Umar talking about charter schools. I'm gonna cook on that because I was freestyling, obviously, pulling up stuff, but now I'll be able to clip him speaking ill against charter schools, and then I get to really like show charter schools versus black independent schools, which ones are more successful. He named a couple black independent schools, but didn't know if they were actually black independent or not. So it's like kind of didn't lead me to, scrutinize it, to vet it. Yeah, but he's mad, and we're saying Umar because Umar is the guy that pitched this dream. That this guy, wait till I show tomorrow. That thumbnail gonna be the university. Tomorrow the thumbnail gonna be. Let's go to bed. Tomorrow
Yeah, let's go to bed.
Okay. So tomorrow I'm gonna do it on the how much the thumbnail gonna be is university. The first one, the $2 million one. Do out of a university to teach CRT. And all of a sudden, CRT is so we need a whole semester to teach CRT. Man, come on. We can learn this stuff in a week if it's taught every day, or at the most a month. And again, it doesn't need to be in school. I made the point. And school needs to be for difficult subjects that requires and begs for like obedience, discipline. You could teach CRT in a car driving to your aunt's house, driving to church or your mosque or your satanic building. Whatever you do, you can teach that on a ride in the car. These guys are over excessive with this. But notice how none of these Afrocentrics ever puts them at the center of the agenda. They'll teach you all about Egypt and how they are the true Egyptians, but don't know math at all. It's like, if y'all are the true Egyptians, I would expect you guys to be great at math. You would think that they'll make math. If anything else, they'll make math the center focus of what they do because they are Egyptians. The Egyptians great at math. We're going to be great at math. If we're not great at anything else, we're going to be known for the wackos who believe we're Egyptians, but we're great at math. Nope. They're just great in revised history. That's all these hotepers are good at, revised history. Nothing they say lines up with academia as far as that stuff. All right, man. I appreciate y'all. Let me see. What I got lined up. Yeah, so tomorrow, I don't know. I may play this over. I'm gonna play it over some part of tomorrow. And maybe if I'm going to do it, it'll be right at the early start of the morning. So I'm just going to play. So I did a couple different things here. So I got to chop the video up because I had different segments talking about different things. Yes.
What's the sound?
We talked about Marcus Garvey. We talked about Umar's daughter, her clout chasing. You know, we talked about a few things. But on that note, man, peace. See you later. What's that noise, Yugi? What's that noise, my Yugi? You ready to go lay down? You get ready to go lay down? Okay. And give me a huggy. Give me a daddy huggy. You need love running? Okay, we're gonna run tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna run. This my read.
That's so fast.
Okay. Got you? You got pee-pee?
Daddy.
What do you want?
Me more.
What do you want?
More.
This?
More.
Here. You gotta go to bed, Yugi.
That's a one. That's a party.
You want one? Here. Oh, here.
Oh, that's not right. That's not, Daddy, that's not right, Daddy.
You're wrong. We want more.
I'm just
What do you want?
What's this?
What?
What's this, Daddy?
Let me see. What do you want? Oh, let's see.
Oh no. I don't want that. Daddy. Not for Daddy, Daddy.
Now you gonna lay down.
I don't want to lay down.
You get ready? You get ready? You get ready? Okay. Come on, Moogie. Come. I'm gonna lay down with Yugi. You wanna lay down with Daddy? Go pee pee. Come, let's go pee pee. You ready? Let's go pee pee, Yugi. Wait, Yugi, wait. Wait, Yugi, wait. That fast, man.
Daddy, hit the rainbow. I'll be over, yeah, over, yeah. It's me. What's up? It's me. It's me. Oh no. It's back away. Racing, Daddy.
He racing. Come on, go pee pee. Come. Come on, come. Come on, go pee pee.
It's me.
Did you win? Daddy win again.
You lose.
Can I win? Wait, let Daddy win, Yugi.
Okay, one this side.
Yay! Daddy win, Yugi! Yay! Daddy win! Yay!
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, Yugi win again.
I win.
Okay, come.
Now,
Yugi want fan?
you're fair.
Okay. Hey, come, turn it on, Yugi. Turn the fan on. Go. Go, turn it on.
What the X happened?
You need me help.
How do you?
Okay.
You daddy me help.
Hey, Daddy need help. Thank you. Yugi help Daddy.
You help daddy.
Mm-hmm.
you.